Before you sit, let me greet. Good afternoon, esteemed guests, the VVVIPs, abantwana bomoya, amasosha. Sikhathele kinkumkani zethu, ikumkani of amampondo asenyandeni. Damase, Ndlovieza. To my fellow panelists, Professor Patrick Lumumba from Kenya, our fellow brother. Utokotela Dr. Nokuzola Mdende. Siyakama kuisha. Phakama amathamba amhlophe. Isizwe sibuye. Sompisi Veli Mbele uthathi bar wayibeka phezulu. Nhlonishwa. Thank you very much for that Arab one. I always say they only know the Europeans. They don't know the Arab ones. To Mhlonishwa DJ, as they said, you are known as DJ Spoo. Our township businessmen, when you have a living well flowing in you, you don't speak African message in conferences. You live African message. You speak it in the car. You talk about African message in your house, everywhere you go. We are so grateful today to have Mhlonisho DJ Spoo. As he says, at times I did not have to now be on the streets, but I go there to hustle, to show the young people. It is not about up there. It's simple. Just go there and sell. We are so blessed today, and I hope the young people have heard. And I hope Donza, that maybe will also have his books so that our young people can learn. And not learn those intelligent books, those difficult books that talks about economy that is easy for others. I want a book that's going to educate them about us. So something after reading they can implement. Siyabonga. Mangeno tabeni sebelikhulumile. Decolonization is not about other races, but is about ourselves. Masingalenzi phutha. Decolonization is not about others or other race, is about us Africans, in order for us to know ourselves. Decolonization is not a revenge of what happened. Decolonization is simply saying, remove what has blinded us. So that we may better know who we are, who we were before the colonization. Decolonization is for us Africans to love ourselves so that we can learn to love others. Ngekuthanda ezinye inhlanga nezinye izizwe ungakazithandi wena. My speakers have spoken of the hair. These are things I speak every day. Your color, uzithanda indlela oyiyo. Umzimba wakho ngendlela oyiyo. Professor said, don't starve yourself. If ithambo lakho alivumi ihlala unjalo. To be healthy does not mean to starve yourself. We are faced with the task of decolonization. And why? Because we were once colonized. Read Mark chapter 16, verse 15. From a book that was written by academics, but is called the Word of God. Izwi likaThixo, kodwa libhalwe ngabantu. I used to say, Professor, if the Bible was truly written by God and it fell from heaven, then I cannot worship an imperfect God, because a lot of imperfections inside the Bible. And he said to them, go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. Kuthiwa wathi, kodwa yena azange asho. This verse made people see it necessary to come and save us. They did not write to us first. They did not ask if we needed to be saved from our ways of living. That saving meant uprooting us from our own salvation, meaning uprooting us from our roots. Funa ubulala isizwe. Ndloviyeza. Basuse ingcambu zabo. Remove them from the roots. If you remove the tree from its roots, it will die. Mawususa isihlahla empandeni saso siyafa. That's what that verse meant. That verse meant ambani niyobasusa ezimpandeni kingcambu zabo nibalahle. Ngoba mabe sebefile bengasana mpande bengasana ngcambu nizawuzenzela phezulu kwabo. Manithi left bazoye left, manithi right bazoye right. All that my colleagues have mentioned before. Zenzeka before because we were removed kimpande zethu. Kungano khokho bama bayeka senzwe lento esenzwe zona. As Professor mentioned, German came, everybody came. Because sasuswe empandeni. Babepho khokho. This is what other people must understand makuzwa spirituality. This is what abantu must understand. Mabeshiya inkolo zabo baya kula nkolo. They felt disappointed. Ukuthi amanyange abo awekho. No, azange basishiye. Sithi esabashiya. Sahamba songena kwezonkolo ezibe sisusa kwingcambu zethu. Yithi esasuka. Today Africans are saving each other. Meaning we are uprooting each other from our identity. And the results of this saving has led us to being spiritually confused and mentally enslaved. This has led us to be spiritually confused and mentally enslaved because we are uprooted from our own ways. It is very strange that makufika ama missionaries sitshelwa ngo-God, but in Africa we had African names for God before they arrived. How could we have names when we did not know him? And then kuthiwa siyasindiswa, funeka wamkele usindiso. And I ask myself, how do you save the saved? Msindisa njani umuntu sekasindisiwe? You have to be saved. And when you are saved, you are now born again. You will be accepted now in heaven. But before you save me, you don't know what I was saved before. I go to the history of Gogo Mantsupa, who prophesied my coming, the sister of King Mushweshwe. Owathi uZwi-Lezwe elisebenza ngamanzi. And I took over her mountains in the Free State. They found uGogo Mantsupa as a prophetess or Imboni esebenza. The king uMshweshwe relied on her ngoba beboniswa. But when they arrived, they baptized her to save her, but she was already saved. Ebe namandla ebesebenza before bona, kodwa mabefika bafuna ukumsindisa. And that's why when she died, she was buried among missionaries, which in those days, it was impossible, just because she accepted that salvation. We are spiritually confused because we are continuing to save each other. Sisadidekile emoyeni nasenkolweni ngoba sisasindisana. Okokusindiswa kimi, it means ukususwa kincambu yakho. Any religion or any form of religion that uproots you from your roots, run away from that religion. Baleka. Inkolo ekususayo kwindlela zakowenu zokhokho bakho, baleka, suka kuyo. Kube khona ke uDr Mlenda athe sibaphakathi nendawo. I believe all of us after 1652, 1737, most of us became in between. Because 1652 arrival of the first Dutch Bible, Jan van Riebeeck, 1737, the first missionary to instill that Bible. Most nalaba baphiwe were born in that era, somewhere somehow. Ngoba kunabantu abathi gamkele uYesu. I know ukuthi akakho umuntu engihlukumezayo la. I know ukuthi akakho. Kuthiwa athi umuntu gamkele uYesu. I've accepted Jesus. Ena 30, ena 20, ena 40, ena 60, ena 80. And I say akho Yesu umamkele. Wamamkela usesibeletheni sikaMamakho. Awumamkeli namhlanje because the time usesibelethweni uYesu ebesebondeni ebondeni. The time umuse phakathi esibelethweni bekunesithombe sakhe ehleli nedisciples zakhe. Ubuzwa ngaye usesesibeletheni. Uthe uphuma ubuse umazi loYesu. The day you went and said enkonzweni, hey, ngiyamamkela uYesu, ubungamamkeli that day bekubuya back what was in your subconscious mind already. Bekubuya lento okudala yafakwa usesesibeletheni, uthe uzalwa lento ibiseyifakiwe emqondweni wakho. The day when ubuphakamisa isandla uthi yes Lord, oh Jesus, I accept you. Awumamkeli. Kuvuka nje lanto bikwadi ikhona eyafakwa kudala inside of your mind. It's a system. Kodwa mawuphupha umuntu wakowenu ofika ethongweni kahle, lo omaziyo uthi yena idemon, uvuka ufaka ifire, ushisa umuntu wakowenu, umzali wakho. We continue to uproot each other and continue to mentally enslave each other. What is mental slavery? Mental slavery is to undermine each other as abantu abamnyama. Because one day we're all slaves. One day all of us, there's no master omhlophe. And lo nto yasimosha umqondo yasenza mawubheka omunye umuntu omnyama, you see a fellow slave. And this mental slavery is killing even those in the African space, African religion or spirituality, academic. Ngoba if we are saying uZwi-Lezwe uHadebe uthi masihlangane, uyazibuza ngibani lo? Who is that? Just because omunye umuntu omnyama. Awukwazi umhlonipha omunye umuntu omnyama ngoba sonakele emqondweni. Sibukela naphansi. Sothi sihloniphe, kufuneka lo muntu abemhlophe. Then siyakuhlonipha. If umnyama sihloniphi, uzanani asinandaba. Because our minds are mentally enslaved. Sicekelana phansi. We never listen to African leaders. Siphiwe ngokuhlukene in Africa. And we must respect that. I understand Umhlonishwa is a writer. Piubala. He must write African things. They are researchers. They are poets. Kundabat specialize ngabantu abalele, abantu abadala. Kukhabas abaspecialize ngeAfrican spirituality, ngezomoya. Asizongena deep lapha. Bakhona abathaziko, zikhona ezomoya. Yithi ke lapha. Respect each other. Sihloniphane. If Professor Lumumba is gifted to advise Africans about certain matters, but our own leaders, African leaders, bazosibuza, who is Professor Lumumba? We'll treat him like Ihlanya, not listen to him, only because we are mentally enslaved. We don't take time to listen, yet we love what is not ours dearly, but hate what is ours with passion. Nginombuzo engiwubuzile ngathi yini lento tozakithi esazenza yona esenza sizizonde ngalendlela esizizonda ngayo. Hayi bantu abamnyama asizithandi, siyazizonda. Asizifuni. Sithanda yonke into kodwa ethi engasiyithi. There shall be no decolonization of anything if we don't understand our own spirituality and if we don't liberate our minds. There shall be no decolonization. I hear Umhlonishwa uDJ Sbu saying, nazi iteki ngizithenge from a black guy. Here is my shirt from a black guy. Let's support each other. Umhlonishwa, if we don't sort out our first spirituality and our mindset, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You can support, abazoyisupport, bazophuma ngokubazoyi-Century City. Because umuntu omnyama will always suspect yokuthi le teki is not the real one because yenziwe umuntu omnyama. It can't be the real one from umuntu omnyama. I'm sure yenziwe erumini emkhukhwini somewhere, iphone call. That's what they suspect. If we don't decolonize our own spirituality, which I call the foundation of everything, our politicians, our leaders in this new South Africa, they must first come and understand African spirituality before anything else. If they don't understand that foundation, forget about politics. Umholi ungithumela imessage, hey tata kunomama bekusemncwabeni, isosha besemncwabeni, kabakho omnye umama usemncwabeni, kuxoxwa ngawe ngemessage yakho. Wathi lo mama, hayi ngiyamazi umntwana kaSilaphathi. Bahamba bayoshuta, hey tata umholi siyaxolisa, sihambe phambili. Sishute nevideo, lo mama uyakwazi ukuchaza istory sakho. Ngitha nama ngaphambili ni right. Because kaloku baningi abantu abagibela izibingelelo beqamba amanga. Abanobize singalazi. If ke ngoku, can you imagine if lo mama elisosha besemncwabeni lithetha ngalo tata uHadebe, athi lo mama omphi umntwana Silaphathi, athi athi asuka umzuvukile belinxila, akho umzuvukile wayise UCT, umzuvukile nje into ibilala idaka. Hey uyayibona ngo benizawuthina apha eCape Town, benizothi yo usikhohlisiwe ngosipho, kanti unjani uZwi-Lezwe? Akusese nguZwi-Lezwe, nguZwi-Lamanga. because ayaziwa lento akhuluma no Slabat akaziwa lo Slabat ngalendlela akaziwa lo Slabat ngalendlela yena mbeka ngayo upolish izinto kufanele kwaziwe kuwena lihlubi umthi mkhulu ubhungane umafuza afulele njengelifu lemvula okhokho babeyinisa imvula. And that's why, Professor, in Africa now governments are starting to say they don't want churches opening because of all this disaster and these prophets. In Africa, a prophet is like a king. You don't wake up, you must be born. There must be your ancestors who had the gift. If we kept our own African spirituality, we would be able to identify those who are gifted and those who are not. So this confusion of prophets and who is who, and we are confused. We are confused because we have left our own spiritual foundation. Our own spiritual foundation, not Dr. Mdende will tell you, Isangoma is this, Igedla is this. Because our own spiritual foundation tells us. We are confused because we have adopted other ways or forms of religion. And yasiqaka le Christianity. Iqaka kwabona abayipracticeayo abagxekani ngomhlola. In closing, ngithi we can sit in that parliament, we can have conferences, we can talk how do we raise township economy, how to get abantu bethu free. If as na African spirituality and fix our mind, ayizolunga. We must understand ukuthi foundation yento yonke iqala kuphi. In closing, you go to the Arabs, their laws, their economy, everything is based on their religion. You go to their Jews, everything is based, it starts from their religion. You come to Africa, we are yonke system yethu is adopted Roman Dutch law. Now it's time for us to decolonize ourselves and our mind and our spirit. Sikhone ukuya phambili. Inganekwana ziphelile. Let's deal with reality. Mawuphiwe ngeqiniso sebenzisa isipho. Ungabhatala abantu. Sebenzisa isipho ungaqamba amanga. Sibelieve kwamaqiniso. Siyakubelieve into ezingekho. We are not fools, man. Asizo stupids. We have a brain like any other race. Isikhathi sokudlala siphelile. And isikhathi sokuncenga siphelile. Ongasalifuna iqiniso in 2020 makaqhubeke nezitori. Sikhathela ukubrusha siyibeka injalo ngoku. La Africa kuthiwa mayibuye after 1994 ayikabuyi sisayikhalela sithi mayibuye, and izawubuya when we decolonize inkolo zethu nemqondo yethu. I thank you. Diabulela.